Um, all right, we're back. Morse Code Podcast, Dan Moore, Soapy Pre-App, episode 133.
Yep.
Okay. Meaning last week was 132.
Yeah, according to my calculations.
Yes, as good as mine. Yeah. So recording on a Sunday around 7, just wrapping up some 4 o'clock games. Oh, man. I don't know if anyone else has seen this. I put this out, something in my eye, on one of the social media handles, our fantasy matchup. Dude, that's so frustrating. I'm gonna lose this week, but it's like I don't know if you've looked at it. It's like the polar opposite of last week. Like last week, Dak and Amari went off. This week, I think they've combined for 10 points last time I looked. And and I'm pretty sure last week Julio and Derrick Henry combined for literally 10 points. And they're finally like, I don't know if you've seen Derrick Henry's doing Derrick Henry things today.
Yep.
And Julio had a good first half. Hasn't scored, obviously. I don't expect that to happen all year. But yeah, that's not great. I wasn't looking forward to that.
Julio was the one that had the touchdown. Was that called back?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I was on the road for a lot of time today after the Patriots game, but I think from what I've seen, I think Tyler tweeted it. He had he had a cleat like on the paint or something, and they called it out of bounds.
That's a bad call.
That
I didn't realize they called it back.
Terrible call. I don't know. I don't know if they. That's definitely not one you call in real time. So they must have called a touchdown, reviewed it, and overturned it, right?
It was, and on the replay, it showed that his toe touched first before the heel went out of bounds.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't make me feel much better. But yeah, that stinks. I mean, even if he did score, I'm down like 40 points. According to ESPN, I have a 1% chance of winning. So take that as you will. Which I don't know how is that true. Do you have anyone go? Oh, you still have Kyler. Good grief. And DeAndre. Oh, and you have Justin Tucker tonight. Jesus Christ. That's 50. That's a 50 burger written all over it right there.
Hey, people joke, but he's usually good for double digits.
For sure. No, I wasn't joking at all. Well, like Graham Gano got 22, the kicker on the Giants on Thursday.
Damn.
I actually had a take. I meant to write this in our notes, but I didn't. I'm glad I just remembered it. So we haven't recorded since the Thursday night game. Not for nothing. Both Thursday night games have been decent this year. Decent.
I didn't get to watch the second one, but
I didn't watch much of it. I watched like a little into the third quarter. But it was a close competitive game for Giants WFT. But I don't know if you saw or heard about. Did you see how it ended or hear about how it ended?
No, I didn't actually.
Field goal. Okay. So this is another, like we talked last week about like funny football plays. This is another really good one. I don't think we've really talked about too much. But it's one of those scenarios where it's like a time expiring field goal to win. The kicker missed it, but it got called back for a penalty on the defense, like an offsides or something. So they basically just get to redo it. So I had two takes, I guess, or maybe questions. The first one was more of a question. I don't know if there's like another scenario in sports where that really happens. Like someone takes a game-winning attempt, they miss it, but because of a penalty, they get to do it again. The only thing I could think of is like down like 2 in basketball, you take a 3, miss it, but get fouled, and then get like 3 free throws, which again is very rare. Like It definitely does. I can't imagine that happens as often as the field goal thing. But we talk about like kickers and like how irrelevant they can feel and like how bad they can blow games. That's got to be like the most uncomfortable thing, like going into the locker room. Or excuse me, not the kicker. That would be on the defender, like the guy who gets the flag when the kicker misses.
I've thought of one semi-close one, but even more rare. If you go to the free throw line in a basketball game and there's lane violation on a game-winning free throw.
Very true. But again, yeah, super rare.
But yeah, that I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
That's kind of like 3-second rule. Like that, I just feel like they just don't call those. Like unless it's ridiculously obvious lane violation, they're not going to call it. Like if you're like under the hoop before Giannis even does like his first like pump fake, his first thing, no, they're probably not going to call it.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're taking the free throw and one of the guys on the other team, like I don't know, I guess he's the closest to you, leans over and like pantses you, would that be a foul or a lane violation?
I think
like if he does it
foul
before the ball hits the rim.
I think it'd just be a flagrant foul. I think the lane violation would be an aftermath. Well, he might not even cross the lane. He might not violate the lane. You don't need to cross the lane to pant someone.
I'm saying if he wasn't close enough that he had to step over.
Oh, so he's like more than one block away?
Yeah.
That definitely have to be a lane violation. I think. That's a big stretch. But if you just pants the person right next to you, as long as your feet don't cross the line, I don't know.
You think that's a flagrant?
I do. I think they call that. Damn. Just looking at the box scores. Yeah, Derrick Henry, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, 26 carries, which is light work for him. Julio Jones, 6 catches, 128 yards, 0 touchdowns. Kyler's having a crazy game too. I think that just went final. Damn. Fuck, I'm not even gonna talk about Brady's game. Jesus Christ. Yeah, 276 and 5. Good grief.
That's Cowboys with a walk-off.
Insane. Right now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just saw it went final. Hold on. Field goal?
Oh shit.
What?
Yeah. And speaking of walk-offs.
Yep. Yes.
Wow. The Vikings?
Yeah, what they just do?
They just pushed it right with a chance to win the game. And Cardinals are 2-0. So me and Shawnee O with the Cardinals leading the division. That pick's looking decent.
Absolutely. Really good looking team.
Dude, that was like I'm not going to guess, but that looked like a 25 to 30 yarder.
Yeah.
And
wow, actually it sounds like you have the TV on. I don't. The Titans game is coming down to it too. Looks like they're driving down 7.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, we should have waited like another. There's no way I can win this week, so it's fine. But I wouldn't mind getting a Julio touchdown just for the tits of it. Anyway, going back to Thursday. So here's my other thought, kind of like yours about a hypothetical play.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it might have been Felger and Mass who were talking about this on Friday, I think, about like how, and they actually brought up a good point I thought was worth mentioning. So like kicking in general, like, so the one they missed, that was one when there was like no timeouts left. So it was one where like the clock's ticking and you actually have to like scramble to get your unit on the field. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if they brought up stats, but I just know from like anecdotally, like those tend to miss. Like those rushed like field goals like never go well without like a timeout. So that's the one they missed. But they also brought up that I forgot. So that Vinatieri's snowball kick against the Raiders, that was the same scenario. Like no timeouts.
Oh, the clock wasn't stopped?
Correct. Wow. Like they threw all that, they ran out on the field, had to get the thing going and kicked it. But my theory is, so anyway, it led to a bigger conversation about how like maybe more than any other unit in like sports, that's like all timing. Like, you know, the snapper has timing, the kicker has timing. They expect to see things. That's why those rushed ones aren't always successful. I'm curious if it'd be a strategically good play or idea, like pressure kick, everyone's clocked in, ready to, you know, they know their timing, their counts, their steps. And instead of the defense rushing, the ball snapped and everyone just like stands up and like backs up and like does something. If like the kicker saw that, would be like, whoa, what the fuck? And like the snapper like just doesn't catch the ball, or it like hits him in the face, or just like, I feel like that would fuck you up.
Hey, what the hell, man? He's supposed to run towards me.
Yeah, you wouldn't just like run up and do your timing and kick. But you kind of can only do it once.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know.
You mean if you start going to that regularly, it would just.
Well, if the kicker always knows what's coming. You're going to get a pass rush from the defense.
Mm-hmm.
If you just saw something crazy, or maybe more up your alley, like if the strong safety just like pulled his shirt up or like mooned like the kicker as soon as the ball snapped, like that would fuck you up too. Your timing. Or just like do something crazy. Like, I don't know, like the safeties just like stand on each other's shoulders and like do something crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's in like Bill's book, maybe saving that one for the playoffs, but it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. I think flashing the kicker would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's your top or your bottom, shirt or pants.
Do you remember that play from a few years ago? I think it was a Dolphins game, that field goal snap where it literally hit the guy right in the face mask. And CBS had like a really great slow motion replay of it. That was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen.
The ball almost got stuck in like the cage of his mask. It was that perfectly hyped.
It was spot on. It was right on the money. if you were aiming to hit your placeholder right square peg in the face. That was a great play. Like great, like kudos to that CBS like graphics guy. Like he nailed it. Like on the dramatic like slow-mo. Anyway.
That was like such peak Dolphins too.
It sure was. Yeah, that was peak like AFC East, just bad football.
Yeah.
Any like interdivision game was awful, especially Jets games. Jets games were just typically, it was never a matter of like, are we going to win this game? The Jets do play them tough sometimes, but majority of the time it was like how funny, like what's something funny that's going to happen? Like I think the butt fumble will always be up there. Like sometimes I forget how great it is till they play it like every Thanksgiving. It's truly a tremendous like play, especially when they break it down like slow-mo, different angles. Like Mark Sanchez literally gets like whiplash off of his center's ass. And then was that returned for a touchdown?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, boy, a big guy too.
It was at least a chunk play.
Yeah. Was it
Vince on both accounts?
Mm-hmm. Was it Vince Wilfork? I don't think it was. Maybe it was. Someone big.
I'm not sure, but you're right. It was definitely a bigger like lineman.
Really great. It was Thanksgiving night. What a great time. That was like one of the best nights of my life. Just watching that for the first time was like, oh man. Plus it was Mark Sanchez, like one of the goofier Jets, one of the goofier like AFC's quarterbacks of our time. And there's been some. Maybe one time we'll do like a countdown of like the not top 10 like quarterbacks of the AFC's of the last like 20 years. There's been so many good ones.
The play ended with Sanchez was on his back, like basically staring up at the lineman's junk.
Like what just happened? Are you kidding me? Yeah.
There's no way that any football play should result in me staring up at your grundle.
I thought you were going to say there's no way that was like the play design, which I would agree with. But
yeah, hot take.
Hey, like I said about that crazy, every play is crazy till you run it and try it. It's like that crazy field goal defense formation. Maybe they said, hey, maybe we'll like. These guys are going to have no idea what to do when you bounce off the center's ass. You just can't fumble. But easier said than done.
Wait, there wouldn't be any sort of penalty, right? If you don't cross over the line of scrimmage and I don't know, one of the linemen slides over and like starts spanking the other lineman, like his teammate, that shouldn't be a penalty.
I don't know. I hands to the face is illegal. Hands to the ass, I don't think so. I don't think that one's. I think hands to the face is 5 yards, maybe an automatic first down. Hands to the ass is just, I don't know, like battling in the trenches.
Gene Steratore is currently. They just called him up for something. So
okay.
Otherwise, I would definitely page him.
Is it that
question
scenario?
Right now? Very similar. It looks like.
Okay, cool. Speaking of AFC's quarterbacks. We can talk the Patriots a little bit. Did you watch the Pats game today?
I did.
Okay. I know you have some thoughts. I know you put some in there. I'll probably let you lead this one. I mean, I watched it with some family. So I wasn't really listening on the commentary. I was watching it, but I don't know. I guess I have a couple takes, but I'll let you go. I'll let you go first this time with some quick takeaways from the Pats game and where you want to go with it. Overall thoughts.
I think it's hilarious that a rookie quarterback, the first round pick, gets booed in his home debut.
One person in the world was chosen instead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I didn't really hear too much audio. So what scenario is this? After the third or fourth pick?
Throughout much of the second half.
I remember one time I saw a graphic. I thought it was like this drive, but it was in the game. I think it said 1 for 4 for 27 yards and 2 picks or something like that. Zach Wilson, that is. Certainly not great.
Pretty good.
No. So he had 4 picks. I really wanted to see 5. I haven't seen a good 5-pick game in a while. He had 4 picks. 2 of them really stood out to me. I forget what the first one was. The first one, like one of them was like the tip ball. Yeah. Where that is what it is. That was a great play by the secondary. 2 were, so bad. The one I saw on Twitter again, the one to McCourty was awesome. That literally looked like a punt return. I think that was the third one, dude. Wide open. Like the pocket looked like Moses parting the Red Sea. It was almost like in like the old Maddens when you had like that quarterback vision. It was like the entire field. He could see daylight. And he put a little touch on the ball, a little BYU touch, and couldn't have been more on the money to number 32.
Yeah.
On the Patriots. And he had another one like that too. I think it was the JC Jackson or maybe Adrian. So Adrian Phillips had one, I remember. Jackson had one. McCourty had that one. Who had the tip ball one? I think Jackson came down with that one too, right?
Yeah, so Jackson had 2.
Damn, that guy gets a lot of picks.
He does.
I know he had a lot last year. And I did hear the, not critique, but I did hear the observation that a lot of them were like ones like today, which whatever, like fucking catch them. If they're going to throw at you, great. But yeah, two of them. I don't remember the other one. I think the other one was it to JC. There were 2 that were just wide open, terrible throws.
Yeah.
And maybe that also, second one went off his hands, right? And went through someone's hands.
Yeah. Corey Davis.
Yeah. And that one was like, he almost looked like, holy shit, like this is really happening. That's why I thought he was going to drop it at first. It was almost like too easy. But yeah, a lot of not. And again, like to be fair, there just wasn't a lot of good offense today. I don't think. Not a very high scoring game. Saw a little more Jake Bailey, which I liked. Dude, every time I saw Jake Bailey punt, it was in the 20. He is nasty. He is automatic. He seriously is. He's maybe a top 5 player on the team. Definitely top 10.
He's like I'm trying to think like peak Greg Maddux in terms of like his location.
Absolutely.
Just puts it exactly where he wants
painting
to put it
corners left and right. He's basically like the 12th man on defense. Like if you get a stop, he's going to then, or excuse me, like if you can't get a first down offense, it's almost like your first play on defense is Jake Bailey putting it inside the 10.
Yeah.
You know, they have like 11 and a half defensive players, which is a penalty. Traditionally.
Yeah. Who knows in 2021 in this league with the, you know, the flags that they're called. Did you see not to digress, but did you see the taunting call in, I think it was Seahawks Titans, like probably 20 minutes ago?
No, there's one in the Jets game too, wasn't there? I thought a Jet got a taunting.
It was bad. I may have missed it.
Okay. What happened in the Titans game?
So
who was it?
It was Mike number Vrabel? 2 on the Seahawks defense.
Oh, geez.
And he had made like a pretty good like pass breakup or pass defense on a throw into the end zone. And then he got up and I don't know if he kind of like flexed or was like kind of yelling in the wide receiver's face, but yeah, then they called it, you know, they called the penalty on that for taunting, 15-yard penalty, first down. And it's, as you said earlier, it's been a 1 possession game for like, I don't know, most of this quarter. So
yeah,
not great.
No, it actually hasn't been as bad as I thought it would be. Like it was way worse in the preseason. They were just flexing like all the time to call that bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll figure itself out. But yeah, that's kind of a silly new rule. So yeah, Wilson being booed in his rookie home debut. Yeah, that isn't great. That he does stink. Like he played terrible today. Like I think the Patriots defense played pretty good, obviously, but man, he was bad. Even like the picks were bad, sacked here and there. I don't know. I'm trying to think like before. I'm sure we'll talk about the Patriots side of the ball at some point, but I kind of still think, you know, they're drawing it up a little more for Zach Wilson than Mac Jones. I actually thought Mac Jones play, not that it's his play calling, but the play calling today was, I actually thought more conservative than week 1.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, like there was nothing.
They took no
there.
Chances.
Absolutely not. They had to run. I like this was a cliche Cam Newton play from last year. They had to run that weird like reverse to Jonnu Smith for a 19-yard game for a first down. And like some of the people I was with today, they're like, oh wow, like, oh, I'm like Brady used to call those plays. I was like, yep, he did, but it was like a 50-yard play to the end zone.
Yeah.
Like, this was 2nd and like 6. Yeah, that's not the same. Which is fine. Like I said, it's fine. Like if that's what he's comfortable with, it worked. I think they only still scored 1 touchdown, right? It's the Damian Harris touchdown. Just sick.
White ran one in too.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's right. But obviously Mac didn't have one. And my other last thing, like the offense, I get it if they're being conservative against the Jets. I think I also think the way Zach Wilson was playing, they could afford to do that. But I don't think there were any red zone targets today. Again, I don't remember one. Like throws into the end zone. Maybe a handful.
Yeah.
Definitely
I can't really picture any.
No major ones.
No.
Like I just mean literally a throw into the end zone, and they had the chances. And I get it. Like Harris was playing well. That's a viable play to hand it off to him. James White too. But 2 weeks in, and the biggest moves in free agency this year were your 2 tight ends, and they're not getting red zone targets.
No,
it's really weird. I don't know if it's more of a they thing or a Mac Jones thing or just being cautious. And again, I think today you can get away with that. Against the Jets. I did have another theory I thought of tonight. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if I assume this is a slow progression. I'm wondering if they're progressing this and kind of keeping some things under the hood for the Tampa Bay game.
Yeah, it's possible.
I know that's kind of like high school, college. Like you don't want your opponent to see what you're doing, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of bump it up a little bit against New Orleans and then really open it up a little bit against Tampa, because that's one game they're going to be trailing at some point. Like that's not going to be a protect the lead type of game, I would think.
Likely as soon as the Bucs get the ball.
Pretty sure. Like I don't know if you watched the game today at all, but like they're probably going to score touchdowns a lot of the time. And again, them scoring touchdowns has nothing to do with Mac, but like I think you hinted on this last week kind of subtly, like Brady hasn't lost a step. Like after today, I'll take it a step further. Like he looked like this looks like 15 years ago.
Yeah, he's gained steps.
Yeah,
step by step.
He looks better at 44 than he might have at like 30, 34.
Yeah,
this is like getting silly, and I get it. He's literally surrounded by crazy weapons. Mike Evans finally came back today. Godwin came back today. Of course, AB did dog shit. I played him in my other league. But yeah, I don't know. I do have some thoughts on those games, but. What else you got on the Pats game today? I know you took down another few notes.
As far as the tight ends,
yeah,
I'm looking at the stats right now. I forgot that Hunter Henry even existed for much of last week and today. He had 2 catches for 42 yards, and I only noticed one of them because they were like, "Oh, and Hunter," like after he made the catch, they're like, "Hunter Henry, one of the premier pickups of the offseason for the Patriots." So I was like, "Yeah, we have hardly heard his name at all." I think Dan might be frozen. Dan is indeed frozen. So I'll take this minute to pause and do our weekly sponsorship / ad read. Cold River Vodka. There is no better time than the present to taste the spirit of Maine. It is September. What is it? Mid-September. So summer's coming to a close in a couple days. But I don't think that there's a better way to get a refreshment or enjoy a beverage. Nothing better than Cold River vodka mixed with a little bit of lemonade. That's my elixir of choice. It's what keeps me looking youthful and vibrant. So Cold River vodka, you can find them Freeport, Maine. They've got a tasting room there, as well as on social media at Cold River Vodka, or you can see where they are available at coldrivervodka.com. While we wait for Dan to return, I think I was in the middle of saying just Hunter Henry, barely heard his name until today. So I wouldn't say concerning. I hope that Dan's theory is right. And I do think that there is some credence to that about the Pats maybe kind of not exactly dialing up the full playbook because they don't want to show their hand to Brady and the Bucs. Because as much as they're not going to admit it, like, you know that Belichick has that game circled on his calendar. He's probably got spit all over it from, clearing his throat and whatever. But yeah, I hope that that's the case. What were the other numbers from today? Yeah, so Hunter Henry, 2 for 42. Jacoby Myers, 4 for 38. Every time that they go to him, I always feel like he's a good playmaker, but it feels very situational that they look his way. Jonnu Smith, 4 for 28. So he had a couple more catches. Aguilar, 3 for 21. Bourne, 2 for 10. Damian Harris, 1 for 2. And then the majority went to James White, 6 for 45, which I would say that that's probably the biggest development. And here comes Dan. So
Right.
So
Sorry about that.
no worries, Dan. I was just saying that probably the biggest development I thought positive wise was it looks like James White is back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, big time.
Like,
I said that last
He
week.
lost a step.
Yeah, this week. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this week he looked good too. Were you saying something about Hunter Henry though?
Yeah, just the fact that barely
Forgot he
heard
was
his
on the
name
team.
and then only heard his name today because they made a point to say, oh, Hunter Henry, after making this catch, he's one of the premier pickups from this offseason for the Patriots, which is true. But yeah, we've hardly seen him. So I just hope that your theory, which I do agree with, I think the Pats are going to save some of the playbook for 2 weeks from now. I just don't know how quickly can they ramp up Mac Jones from being like, all right, we're going to let you call like 50% of the plays. And then 2 weeks from now, we're going full bore, like 0 to 100 real quick.
Not him calling the plays, but just like calling
Right.
something that includes a downfield read. Like there's been nothing there. Or if we get within the 30, like we might throw it in the end zone. I don't even care if he throws picks in the end zone. Like just start throwing it in the end zone. It's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Cam threw picks in the end zone. It is what it is. That's why I think, New Orleans game next week's big. I'm curious to see how they come out at home. Because they also looked like shit again today. New Orleans, they lost to the Panthers. Mm-hmm. So I genuinely don't know who's good in the NFL.
Yeah,
like
and after losing to the Dolphins, I was curious.
That's what I mean.
What did the Dolphins do today? I was hoping that they would put up a good fight. And did they end up getting skunked?
Yeah, I think they got smoked by the Buffalo, right? Tua got hurt too, I saw.
I don't know if they scored. That's fair because Tua did get hurt. I don't remember like what quarter that was, but Jacoby Brissett had at least 20 attempts. So
yeah, 35-0 is tough. Again, that's Buffalo coming off a loss. So Green Bay also got smoked against the Saints, and I have no idea what that game means in hindsight. They got beat by the Saints, bad. Saints got beat today by a bad team, and I'm pretty sure Packers are going to win by 40 tomorrow night against Detroit. So I genuinely don't know. I think Pittsburgh lost today to the Raiders.
And the Raiders.
You already talked about the Cardinals. Correct. Buccaneers scored 48 points. Chiefs Ravens tonight will do a lot. That's a huge game. Baltimore starts 0-2. That's tough in a pretty good division. I did see the Titans tied the game.
Yep.
Derrick Henry's 49 fantasy points. I'm going to lose. That's reassuring though. That's like a typical Derrick Henry game. Have you seen? I'm sure you've seen it going around before, but have you seen like that graphic of Derrick Henry's high school stats?
Yeah.
Oh boy, like ridiculous for a teenager. Upwards of like 10,000 rushing yards in the 8-game schedule.
I wish that football had the equivalent of kind of like that Zion highlight where they had a white kid come in and he was like, slapping the floor on defense. Meanwhile, he's 5'11" and 140 pounds.
No, dude.
If there's an equivalent of football where like you specifically call a certain player in and he just comes in like pumping his chest to go one-on-one with Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Derrick Henry runs through his chest into the end zone. What were we talking about? So the tight ends, just the offense in general. I do agree. I think James White is back. I think Damian Harris looked good. I think they've established that they have a good run game. But I also think you can use that to your advantage with Mac Jones. I don't think like they used play action today, but they were for like wide receiver screens and like weird checkdowns and stuff. Like it was just very weird. Like thinking back, remembering certain plays, like I'm surprised they scored 2 touchdowns. Like them, if it wasn't for all the picks that put them in a lot of good field position, I still think the offense is like super limited. But it was last year, but it still feels different this year. Like last year it was limited because, like, yes, I agree. Like the limit was pretty visible. Now I don't know. I think, and again, they do have a lot of new playmakers. I get that too. That's why I'm excited for next week against New Orleans. What do you think next week's going to look like?
Both 1-1, and it's in New England.
And
I'm gonna
Jameis stumped
say
today too.
yeah.
Like Jameis looked more like Jameis Winston.
I'm gonna guess that the Pats are favored. I'm gonna say it's like 4.5 because I think
No spread yet. Sorry.
I feel like other people are in the same boat. Like the media is like, the only known quantity and known entity is the Buccaneers. Unless I'm overlooking
Right.
someone, Chiefs. We'll see tonight. They'll fucking score
Chiefs, I
like
think
4
Chiefs
points
win
against the
tonight.
Ravens or something. But
That's true. Anytime we record before a game, who knows? I think Chiefs win tonight. Not like comfortable in the sense where like I don't think it'll go to overtime. Like I think they'll win by like 7 or 10.
yeah, I just remembered the other the other gadget play that they had today. Again, it was actually like I would call it a chunk play, a chunk yardage play, but it was still only about 20 yards. It was they handed the ball off to someone and then he pitched it back to Mac.
Yep. Oh yes.
And then it was like a 20.
That's the play I was talking. No, that's the play I was talking about. It was on like second down. They got 19 yards. I think it was back to Mac and then Mac to Jonnu Smith.
Well, they had two kind of like trick plays. The other one might not have been a throwing play then, where it was like I don't know, like a jet sweep or something like that. But yeah, either way, that is hilarious to see that at midfield and only get to like the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. I don't know. You've got to go deep in your bag to get 2nd and 6 down. Like those plays are only cool if you score touchdowns, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You can't get 19 yards without fucking having to reverse it to 6 people.
Dude, I think,
the
funny. Yeah, that's so sad. Like, imagine watching that with other people, either in your living room or in a bar, or actually even being at the game. And anytime that you see the start to a trick play, everyone starts to like slowly stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, 1st and 10 from the opponent's 38-yard line.
Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. What did Hunter Henry? I only remember one catch from Henry, but I'm
2 for 42.
Okay. Yeah, the one I remember, I guess, was like probably 20 yards. What did Jonnu Smith have?
4 for 48. 4 for 28.
Wait a minute. I'd be willing to bet. Hold on. I can determine this right now real quick. 4 for 28. Yep, I see that. Yep, 4 for 28, long of 19. It was definitely a 19-yard gain on that trick play. So out of like scripted regular plays, he had like 9 yards, 3 catches for 9 yards. Like they're not like, they don't have any like big open field. I don't know if it's play call or what, but I don't remember a lot of yards after catch through the first 2 weeks. Like the tight ends catch the ball like at the ground and get tackled. James White might have had some gains on like screen plays, but I'm curious to see what his average like depth of target was today, not to get too into the analytics. Like I just don't remember any play. I don't remember a lot of plays thrown past the line of scrimmage. Like I swear I remember like 10 to 15 like screen plays today. And whatever, like, they scored 2 touchdowns and they won comfortably. But that's obviously not very sustainable because I do think the Jets stink. That was confirmed today.
Speaking of like not throwing the ball to the line of scrimmage, aside from all the interceptions and just like normal incompletions, there were 2 or 3 plays by Zach Wilson where he would get flushed out of the pocket, make some decent movement to like buy himself some time.
Yeah, sure.
But then he would throw it sidearm across the field and always would just like float it over his receiver.
Yeah, that happened.
Throw it like 15 yards across the field and not down the field at all. So good football.
I'm still really, I don't know. I'm really confused. He was the like consensus number 2 overall pick. Like that wasn't even a discussion. Like people weren't talking about anyone else at number 2, really.
He's from BYU, right?
Uh-huh. Big party school.
Yeah. Bring your own.
Bring your own Mormonism.
Yeah.
BYOU.
Bring your own urinal.
Yeah. At this point, I'd be willing to bet. I think he's going to end up being the worst out of these first round quarterbacks. from what I've seen, what I haven't seen, and just what I saw on draft night. I think I would put him dead last. I think Trevor Lawrence will be better. I think Mac Jones. And again, I'm not saying Mac Jones like lit the world on fire today, but he didn't turn the. This probably an obvious statement, but I would take Mac Jones's today. As much as we've kind of been, it sounds like I'm shitting on Mac Jones, but he ran the plays that were called. Yeah. He's not going to go to the line and audible out of it, like Brady or Rodgers or someone, and he did it fine. Did he have a turnover today? Did he have a pick?
I know he didn't have a pick.
Someone
I thought he fumbled.
Oh God,
Pats recovered it, right?
Yes, but remember on the first drive, I think it was Jacoby Myers fumbled, and somehow it wasn't ruled a fumble. I forget why. That was a fumble and turnover. Thank God, because that could have gone sour. That could have gone like sideways very fast if they fumbled on their first possession on the road. Holy shit, that could have been really bad. But yeah, I'll take what Mac gave us today. I mean, he managed the offense. Today was like a very game managed game. And I think it was more conservative than last week. But again, you could clearly get away with that today. He didn't turn the ball over 4 times.
Yeah.
Two of which were just terrible throws. Terrible throws. So yeah, I'm pretty confident Zach Wilson will be the worst one. Justin Fields, I know will be better. Trevor Lawrence, I assume will. Trey Lance, I don't know. I assume will. I don't know if he played at all today. I think Justin Fields played today, right? Andy Dalton got hurt.
Yep.
He do anything?
He went 14 for 20, I think. I want to say that he threw a pick.
Ooh. I got a trivia question for you. I don't know. Have you looked at what Zach Wilson's QBR or quarterback rating was today?
I have not.
Any guesses on the QBR?
Is it single digits?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pizza score here, 7.2.
8.6.
Oh, damn.
That's a good pizza.
That's John's Bleecker
Street. That's like Johnny Bleecker Street from Zach Wilson today. I mean, Mac had a 28. Again, I don't know what these numbers mean. Mac had a 28.1 QBR and an 89 quarterback rating. One of them goes to 100. Is it QBR that goes to 100? And then quarterback rating just goes to some random number? I could probably find out by looking at Kyler Murray's. Hold on. One of Kyler Murray's is probably over 100. Actually,
I want to say passer.
Kirk Cousins had a higher one than Kyler Murray today. Tell me this. Oh, picks. Kyler Murray threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins threw for 244 and 3 touchdowns and had 5 points higher quarterback rating. Kyler Murray did have 2 picks, though. Oh, and he was sacked. And the sacks. Okay. He also rushed for a touchdown. There's no metric on earth that will tell me that Kirk Cousins played better than Kyler Murray today. 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Jeez, good.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Hopkins only had 54 of them. Rondale Moore had 144 receiving yards today. Might want to pick him up next week. AJ Green scored today.
Yeah. On a
take you back.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, Kirk Cousins is playing some of the best football of his life. I wouldn't change anything if I were him either. I think he's got to roll with it. Sorry. I thought about this too. What if you do get the vaccine at this point? Like, if it happens to line up, like, if you get it on a Saturday, day after second shot is not fun.
Oh no, you'd be in hell.
What if you have to get, I don't know the Minnesota rules of whatever, but if you have to get it on Saturday, which I assume could be a real rule, you might be out. That's like one of those like gambling, like insider notes. Like, hey, Zach Wilson. Could be relevant for Zach Wilson too. But Kirk Cousins got his shot yesterday. You might want, that's like an Uncut Gems scene.
Yeah, that's who got was it Martha Stewart got in trouble for that? Insider trading?
Vaccine on Saturday? Oh, probably.
Insider vaccination?
Yeah, I think that's the case. What did she go to jail for? Was it insider trading?
I think so. Yeah.
She's had a weird life.
I know that she financially kind of screwed over some people, but whatever. there's worse crimes in the world, I think.
Hey, buddy, you find me someone at the top who hasn't done that, and I'll give you $1 million.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the game, unfortunately. Game
Really
of
is.
life. Sorry, you had some other notes on what we got here. Patriots game. Zach Wilson blows. What do we got here? I'm sorry. Hold on. Did you want to talk about Zach Wilson on draft day?
No, I just put that in there because it
That was
reminded me of
funny.
the picture. And
That was a great
him just
time.
wearing that like Karate Kid belt around his head just made him look even dumber.
If he played well, I think it would look cool.
Yeah.
But it's a high risk when you wear something like that.
Yeah, and if you know that you played like shit, then you can take your helmet off in a manner that takes that off too, so people don't have to see that.
Yeah, it's definitely not helping. I would consider taking it off. Did you like the when the NBA had allowed those headbands?
I thought they looked weird.
They looked weird. I thought they were kind of cool. If you were good, again, you have to be good to
Yeah. I didn't like
who was
the
like the
big
best
band, though.
player. Butler was a
Yeah.
ninja headband guy. I think Simmons wore one. Russell Westbrook might have worn one.
He may have.
Donatello, I think, wore one.
Again, I just don't think it's a.
They look
Regardless
weird
of how
on a
they
basketball court. Yeah.
Yeah, much better on basketball in an NBA game. I didn't think it was the best thing for them to ban it. That felt a little, but
Little Iverson dress code-esque.
yeah. I have a early hot take that I forgot to put on here. Did you hear the story about Damian Harris carrying a ball around with him?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Okay. I think that's going to be the next Antonio Gates used to play basketball thing.
What do you mean?
I think we're going to hear that story quite a bit, and I'm already sick of it because I remember hearing it once last week.
No, I think you hear that every time someone has a known fumble. That's a pretty common thing. That's a very like high school, college thing. Like Damian Harris is not walking around. A grown man is not walking around with a football at all times. It's a great story.
But I think because like the commentators rotate, so like next week, I don't know, it could be Ian Eagle instead of Kevin Harlan, and he's going to retell that same story. Then the next week they play the Bucks, and it's going to be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
And then they're going to retell that story.
Geez, I didn't think about that. I think it was at its peak today because he's coming off the fumble. If they mention this in like week 10, no one's going to have any idea what you're talking. They're going to be like, oh, like, why would I give a shit about that?
That's true.
Because I don't think it's true. Maybe, but I don't know. That's like I said, that shit you do in like high school and like college.
Wait, kids would like carry the football to class
sometimes, but that's like a story you would say.
Yeah, like
your high school coach can tell a high school player, "Hey, you fumbled. I want you to carry this football around class." I don't think, the running backs coach is telling Damian Harris to carry a football around the facility. He might. I don't know. He didn't fumble today, so whatever.
It's whatever he's doing or not doing, it's working. It worked
for sure. Absolutely, you look great today. But yeah, that was a funny story.
I think it would be funny if, number one, if I did see someone carrying that to like biology, like 10th grade biology. But number two, this isn't a Deflategate joke. If someone carried a deflated football around, like a completely deflated football, and just a flat piece of leather, like, that's arguably harder to carry.
I think it'd be harder to fumble.
Really?
I mean, you can get a grip on it.
Yeah, but then it's so thin.
Yeah. I didn't think about that part of it. Yeah, for sure. All right, we do have one more segment to transition to, but did you want to do your headlines before we do that? How many do you have? You usually write like 15.
No, I didn't even number 10.
10?
Yeah,
all right.
For Mac.
All right, let's try to keep it to like 5 minutes. We'll run through them rapid fire.
Okay, I can do that.
You're still trying to get on the beat at Boston Herald?
Yeah, or New York Daily News.
Okay.
All right, the first one, this is a tweet that you may have seen. This is more of a joke.
Okay.
Don't answer it if you saw the tweet.
Okay.
How is walking down the hallway to World Lit the same as being an NFL quarterback?
I didn't see that. I don't know.
Okay, you actively must avoid getting your balls tipped.
Yeah, good one.
in your high school, did people flick your balls a lot?
No.
Really?
My testicles?
Yeah. Like
No.
your friends being like nut tapping you?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
So relatable. Okay. All right. Zach Wilson, more like Zach Galifianakis, because it looked like he was nursing a hangover.
Yeah. I don't think they drink though, do they? BYU people?
No, I don't think so.
Great.
My apologies. I didn't do enough research. Zach Wilson, more like Owen Wilson, because he looked more out of place than a wedding crasher.
Yep, that's pretty
good. Mac Jones, more like Tarmac Jones, because he kept the Jets grounded on the runway.
Fine. I would have put it on like McCourty or like Tarmac Hightower or something.
Devin Tarmac Cordy.
I saw one time, I think it was still like 7-3, and it was time of possession, like 13 minutes to 1, like between the Patriots and the Jets. That's when I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, can we fucking score? Can we take advantage of having the ball 99% of the time?
Yeah, and getting the ball like past midfield.
50-yard line. Yeah. Like you get Jake Bailey punts and like interceptions at the 50.
Yeah.
And you score 2 rushing touchdowns. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's a good thing we still have Nick Folk and not Gostkowski, because
Nick Folk had like 8 field goals today. Yeah.
Boo York state of mind. Jets fans let the rookie QB hear their dismay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's had to have been used multiple times, no?
Probably.
You're in Boo York.
I know you're a big cop guy, so you're familiar with the NYPD, the New York Police Department?
Yes.
Okay. Do the Jets play their games there? Because I've never seen so many bad picks in one place. Like a mugshot.
Oh. That would be better as a headline because you could obviously spell it PICS.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we do this, but over the air. But yeah, good one. Oh, man. Hope Dan Shaughnessy's not listening. He must be trembling in his britches. Fucking Bob Ryan over here. Yeah, Soapy Ryan. Soapy McMullen.
All right. Green Day. Actually, you like Green Day, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, Green Day. New York has lost 11 straight in the opening month of the season. So they're saying, wake me up when September ends.
That's pretty good. Wake me up when September ends is a good headline. Mm-hmm. And then if you have the graphic on it, they showed that graphic today. They haven't won they're like 1-12, and that's like 5 years in September. Jesus.
Real quick, football is such a nasty sport because what other sport can a team be that terrible and still 60,000 people show up to the stands every weekend, like without fail?
Sorry, say that again. You got distracted by something I was more interested in.
It's just crazy that in football, more so than any other sport, your team could absolutely suck and clearly be out of it by the first month, and 50 to 60,000 people still show up in the stands.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's true. Like, I don't remember. I'm curious, like, what like the lowest attendance like stadium is. Probably like the Bengals or like something like Brown. I mean, Browns sell out every week. Panthers maybe. Like, I think because it's once a week, it's still football. You know, we still watch. Like, I watched a fucking midseason Giants Washington game the other night. But yeah, that's interesting. It's definitely not like midseason baseball, like with crappy teams.
Yeah.
Like when I remember like Oakland would literally just be a sea of like green seats, like empty seats, dude. Or like
even
Tampa
when they would catch fire in like July, August, September.
Yeah, no one there. Miguel Tejada hitting home runs in an empty stadium, like crazy. Jason Giambi doing a curtain call to nobody. Like after a walk-off home run. Just doing a curtain call to his family in the suite. Oh boy. Yeah, that was tough.
Eric Chavez catches like a foul pop out and then throws the ball into the empty stands for the third out.
Yeah, it's like that like classic play when like Jeter dove into the crowd and like came out of the crowd with a baseball. Chavez just jumps into an empty row of seats. Oh boy. Yeah. Those were some dark days.
Dude, more people in your fucking dugout than there are in the bleachers.
For sure, dude. Like, I don't know why the Oakland A's always stand out to me, but that's the one. And that was such a dog dump of a stadium. It was one of those half football field, half baseball stadiums. It was one of those stadiums where, like, I think most nights a third of the seats were just tarped over. Like, that was just not great. And they were pretty good.
Yeah. I think the funniest part was that the section that when they zoomed out was the very top that was always tarped off. So that looked absurd. And then just how big that stadium was with just an ungodly amount of foul territory.
Oh, so much foul territory. a lot of foul play in that stadium.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, you could go to Mariners at A's for $6. Why not?
I would have expected.
Why wouldn't you do that? Like, I spent $6. Like, if $6 came out of my bank account, not to flex, but if $6 came out of my bank account right now, I probably wouldn't notice. I might as well buy the ticket. And if I feel like going, I'll go. If I lived like by the stadium, if I'm gonna watch it on TV, I might as well just buy a ticket and go watch him play in real life.
Yeah, you might as well buy a ticket on the off chance. Like, who knows? You might win fucking free airfare between now and the game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good point. Even living here in Maine, I might just buy that ticket.
You never know.
You never know. Go ahead.
That's all, folks. Patriots star kicker boots his 33rd straight field goal. So congrats to him.
Photoshop Nick Folk's head on Porky Pig's body. Put that in the paper. Oh man.
Do you know what the JC and JC Jackson stands for? You don't?
I don't know. I'm sure whatever you're about to say isn't what it really stands for, but go
ahead. Juvenile crimes. Since he robbed Zach Wilson twice today.
Nice.
And last one.
My favorite one.
Breaking Bad tackles. The return of White. James White.
Pretty good. Yeah.
And there you have it. Been a while since we've done one of those. Too long, some might say.
It's almost like when they asked Brady, like, what's your favorite Super Bowl? Like the next one.
Yeah.
Like, what's your favorite soapy headline? The last one. Oh man. No, that's good stuff. If you just put those together today.
I did, yep.
Yeah. Hey, so you haven't listened to Drake yet?
Very minimally.
Okay. Like, meaning what?
Like 2 songs.
Which ones?
The first 2.
You like them?
I did, yeah.
Poppy's Home.
And Champagne Poetry.
Yeah. I think Champagne Poetry is really good.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Great
way
beats.
To kick off an album. For sure. Great production. I don't know if we talked about this, but did you see last week the Detroit Lions like official Twitter account had that tweet of Jared Goff and he said Poppy's Home at the game. You see that? That was weird. For pro sports teams, Twitter accounts are so good. So strange. You can like really make or break I don't know, like social media interaction.
Yeah, I think
some weird tweets.
It must be fun to work for the shitty teams because then you can just you can definitely get away with more and make jokes.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're like, well, we stink on the field. Let's try to build up our social media presence with like a funny
have some fun on the internet.
Brand.
Yeah, why not? Remember the Raiders tweet last year?
Oh,
during
God.
some of the Jacob plays during the
I sure do.
George Floyd stuff. They got killed for that. And I'm pretty sure either they never deleted it or like it was up for quite some time.
They had
just
a chance
getting
to
absolutely hammered. Yeah. Some would say rightfully so.
I believe that they had a chance to delete it or they were asked about it. And Mark Davis was basically like, I don't see what's the issue.
Yeah, no, I feel very strongly about this. I think it's a great tweet.
Yeah. Did you see how many likes it got?
Yeah, it says like 12 likes. That's pretty good. Yeah, that was like a textbook ratio. That was weird too. That was the day of like the verdict. I'm pretty sure
It may have been. I'm
that's
not
the
sure.
event that would make sense. It said like I can finally breathe or something like that.
Oh, right.
So that would probably make sense. It was the day of the verdict. But
Yep.
why would the Las Vegas Raiders of all people like come out and want to be on the forefront of that aggressively like that? They knew that was going to do some numbers.
Again, you're a shitty team, so you might as well try
That's
to
true.
like.
That's true. Slow day at practice. Oh God, that should be addressed soon too. Maybe not tonight, but like that one I sent in the group chat the other day, but like that ESPN hypothetical. It was like, would you rather have like Steph Curry if he just didn't play in the fourth quarter, or what, like Shaq if he only had one arm in the fourth quarter or something like that?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the two teams of like superstar players in their primes.
That was a good one too. But oh my God, it's like it's not even the off season. Like there's plenty to talk about right now. You talk about football. If you're that desperate for a basketball story, I still think there's plenty to talk about in basketball. I do want to find that ESPN one real quick.
Yeah.
It should be right here. Let me get through all these weird things Leahy sends us. Here it is. Would you rather? Classic game. We've played it on the show more than once. Would you rather get Steph's shooting, but you lose it after the first quarter? Get Prime Shaq's build, but you shrink 2 feet at halftime? That's even worse than I thought. So I guess, I don't know, like I get Steph Curry for a quarter.
Yeah.
But if I still have to play Steph the whole game, of course I wouldn't want that because all he can do is shoot good. So that sounds terrible.
Wait, explain your reasoning again. Because this is asking what you would rather be, right? Or what you would rather play against.
I don't know. It says, would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather get Steph's shooting, but you lose it after the first quarter? So I picture I'm playing Steph normal minutes, but after the first quarter, he doesn't shoot like Steph. He just, I guess misses. Or I get Prime Shaq's build, but maybe it's like, if it's asking me, like myself, I don't know. But basically I see it as I get Prime Shaq, but I shrink 2 feet at halftime. So I get Prime Shaq for a half. It's basically a half versus a quarter. Yeah. I get Prime Shaq for a half and Prime Steph for a quarter.
But which one do you think is a bigger disadvantage? I think it's a bigger disadvantage to be 5'1" Shaq than it is to be Steph without like, supernatural shooting.
True. Good point. Because Shaq really isn't much else besides his build.
Right.
Which is very good. When he's 7'1". His height is a big part of his build. I'd say that. Steph can still dribble around and do pesky little things. I don't know. I assume this must be a teaser for, I guess Lakers and Warriors are playing this year, and it must be a teaser for that game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just so much weird shit like they just curate to talk about. Like again, it all kind of goes back to that like hypothetical we talked about with Leahy, where it's like, would you rather have I don't know, like Jamal Crawford's crossovers with fucking Dirk Nowitzki's accent, or like some like crazy
Anthony
like
Davis's eyebrows?
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't care. I would just take each player as they are. I don't need this weird cross pollination. I don't need it.
Oh, actually, real quick, would you rather have Anthony Davis's eyebrows for 1 quarter or Grant Williams' ass for 1 half?
So his whole ass for 1 half.
Yep.
Or half of his ass for the whole game.
That's true. That's still, the fraction still equals.
Anthony Davis's eyebrows.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you think the Celtics are going to do another move this year? Like all year, even including like deadline?
Deadline, yes.
Of significance. I don't consider last year's significance.
Right.
So something more than Evan Fournier equivalent.
No, probably not that much.
I don't either. Like I think I was listening to the Tyler's latest episode with Coley.
Yeah.
They're kind of talking about NBA stuff. I do think I think they know that Brad Beal's gettable in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's the plan.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, honestly. I'm okay with that because I don't expect them to win this year. Cole, he did kind of talk me into thinking the Celtics could be a top 4 team this year.
Yeah.
I think when you really, if they're healthy and the potential they have to play defense, I do think they could be a top 4 team. Yeah. I just don't know who's coming out. Maybe Philly. It would have to be Philly, I guess, because it's not Brooklyn or Milwaukee. Who is the other one? Atlanta or New York? One of those teams could fall out.
Yeah.
So it's Philly and Atlanta. Philly, Atlanta, New York. Miami's going to be better too, though. Miami's going to be better, though. So they both good. It could be, I think, best case scenario for them to be in a top 4, it would have to be Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Miami, and Boston. Best case scenario.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I think changing out Brad Stevens for the new coach is going to make a pretty big difference because clearly there was like shit going on behind the scenes where the Jays were fine with Brad Stevens, but weren't his biggest advocate.
Mm-hmm. That won't get you far in this world.
Not to be a devil's advocate.
If it's not the first time you've pulled a stunt like that.
Are you a fan of devil's advocacy?
I think it makes for good conversation. Someone comes in with devil's advocate. That was a big office one. A little office banter. And then someone peeks their head up. Hey, not to be devil's advocate, but
yeah.
And then sprinkle something in.
Satan's representation.
You ever heard of you know the story about the New Jersey Devil?
No, what about him? A real guy?
No, it's just like an old wives' tale. One of those like supernatural things. I don't know what the fuck I was listening to, like some podcast or something. They were talking about it. And I've been meaning to look it up. Maybe we'll do that next time. Maybe we can get him on the show.
Was that right before or after the host talked about taking horse dewormer for his
different show?
His coronavirus.
Yeah, different show. Dude, no, it's never mind.
Yeah,
different show. Did you want to talk about that logo stuff real quick?
I had a couple in mind.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. So I saw a tweet this weekend. Let me see if I can pull it. I guess it really doesn't matter. You can just take my word for it. Now I'll find it. It's right here. Just hold the hell on. 5 minutes here. Someone on Twitter went a little viral. Twitter user by the name of Yanni @clapped_Dre said biggest logo downgrade of all time. If you can see this, it's the old Pistons logo downgraded to the current Pistons logo, which I actually think is a valid one. It was like the old Pistons logo with like the horse, like the Grant Hill era Pistons.
Yes, the teal horse.
That was a sick logo, sick uniforms, cool court. I'm a big fan. The current one, it does stink. It's just like the red circle with Detroit Pistons. And even like the mid 2000s, like Chauncey Billups Pistons, it wasn't much
different than that.
Right. It was definitely more similar to the one on the right. Mm-hmm. I think they had like bubble letters and like just like Times New Roman letters. And I know we've kind of talked about this before, like logo downgrades. There aren't many that are better. Like the one now is better than it was in like the 90s or early 2000s. You had some that come to your mind?
Yeah. So I had a couple NBA and a couple NFL.
Yeah, go
real
ahead.
Quick. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do the NBA first.
Right. That's fine.
Let me just pull up the picture. So the Nuggets one, I think currently stinks. It's that weird,
like the picks
or whatever. Yeah,
stink.
Crossing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the old one that I'm thinking of is the Denver skyline with like the rainbow color.
Yeah. Like the Dikembe Mutombo. Or even before that, like what's his face? Alex English.
Yeah.
The blue one. Yeah, that's dope. I actually I liked most of the Nuggets logos until the current one. even like the dark, like navy and brown. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That's
like the
like
Mellow
also
era?
Dikembe Mutombo. No. Before that,
Oh,
like when
yeah,
they won
yeah.
the playoff series, like as
Yep.
the ace seed, and then the mellow one was sick. Yeah, the mellow one, like the powder blue, yellow. But
Yep.
yellow powder blue is just a timeless jersey combo. Like
Yep.
that's always going to be fire. But yeah, I agree. For sure. New one stinks. They're too simplistic nowadays.
Yeah.
Too minimalist.
The Hornets. The Hornets, I think I
No
know that they're
brainer.
trying to go back to
Still blows. Still
yeah.
different.
Yeah, it is.
It's too not to cut you off, but it's like they're trying to get too realistic with the insect. The cartoony part of it in the 90s was what made it was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
that was a ridiculous logo, but it was sick.
Yeah, I think they're trying to be like politically correct and making me think this is a gender fluid Hornet.
For sure.
But I know the Hornet that I grew up on was definitely a male.
Yeah, his stinger was shown. Big stinger.
Big time.
No confusion on the pronouns on that guy in the early 90s.
Mm-mm.
That was a dude, and he had his stinger flexing.
Underrated one, the Mavericks one. I'm sure you'll agree with that one.
Big, like the M with the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
That one's fire. Big fan. And they kind of brought that back a little bit this year and last year. But
yeah. The fact that I feel like it's hard to pull off a good logo when you don't have an animal. I feel like that's one of the few.
Good point.
Because like now they do use the animal, but it's
like a stallion.
Yeah.
It almost looks like the old Pistons logo, actually. Pretty sure it's the same horse.
I think it's the same guy or girl.
Oh boy. Yeah. Nice save.
Not a fan.
And I don't mind that. Like when I'm trying to think, did they go? There must have been something in between, or no? It went from that green one to like the Dirk Nowitzki like blue and black Mavericks logo.
I feel like I
thought there was something in between. Maybe not. Yeah, you're right. Because
basically their current color scheme has been those colors for like 20 years, and they've just made like slight alterations to the
I think there's more stars logo now, or maybe it used to be. Remember like the maybe it still is, but when they first like the Mavericks Heat finals, I remember those uniforms. Those didn't have like the stars on the sides, right? That was like the Josh Richardson like Mavericks, or like the I don't know who like the guy from those teams would be.
Terry.
Jason Terry. I got someone in my head. I can't think of his name. Caron Butler, like the Caron Butler era Mavericks with like stars on the sides, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've just.
But again, I don't mind the current one, but those green jerseys were dope. Those were fire.
Mm-hmm.
Very sick logo.
The last two that I had for the NBA were the Raptors. I think that current one is terrible. Yep. And then I don't really like the I'll say the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Bucks have had some great ones. Currently, not great. 90s ones were good. Like the Ray Allen, like era Bucks were good. I kind of like the old, like the ones with like the very cartoonish, like the buck and like the sweater. Like with Milwaukee Bucks, those were cool. But I don't think they really mirrored the jerseys. I think the jerseys were, you know what I mean? The jerseys weren't like that, obviously, but that logo was pretty sick. So it's honestly like you could probably go through every NBA team. Very few NBA teams have upgraded their logo in the last like 30 years. I'm serious.
Right.
Like I really don't know. We've talked about the Spurs before. Spurs was a big downgrade, you know, especially going from that color scheme to just like when I think the current Spurs logo, I think just like that single like spur, like that U.
Yep.
That's terrible. T-Wolves might be up there because now I think they're just the Wolves. Aren't they technically just the Wolves now? Like maybe not, but like their jerseys, like the Kevin Love era, like Wolves, those stunk.
Yeah.
I don't really like the new ones, especially like the lime green ones. But like KG, both KGs were good. Like young KG, like the green, like thin lettering was sick. And then even like the MVP or KG with the like the trees like on the trim.
Yep.
The Timberwolves, those are pretty dope. Rockets, big downgrade.
Oh my God. That one is so dumb. just the letter R surrounded by like a
Yeah,
I don't know what
God
that's
knows
called.
what. What else? Magic. Yeah, Magic isn't much different now, but it's definitely worse.
Yep.
That's the thing. Like the 90s, like they're very like they were kind of like cartoony in the 90s, which is fine. I guess I get maybe why they're trying to change, but it doesn't make it better.
I feel like there's a lot of sharp, like flat lines in the current crop of logos. Like, yeah, they don't make them bubbly or cartoonish. It's just like a bunch of 90-degree angles and like
Yeah.
plain ass text. The Wizards' current one is terrible. I think their colors
Oh, that
look
really
awful.
stinks. Yeah, that one stinks. Yeah, honestly, like basically every basketball one. And
Yeah.
then real quick for some football ones, I thought it like Patriots. Like I like the old like Pat Patriot better for sure.
Red or Drew Bledsoe blue?
Not even the uniforms, just like the logo.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the guy
Yep.
snapping the ball, I think is better than like the single head, like
Mhm.
profile like Patriot picture. And that's not like a terrible logo, but I just think the old one was better. The other one I do like the old Broncos ones.
That's
Like
the
the
one I
orange
had.
crush. Did you? Yeah, like the orange crush Broncos, like with the blue D and like the horse
Yep.
through it. Those were good. We already talked about the Chargers. Football. Do you have any other football? I'm trying to think what not like uniforms, like the logo. That's
So
changed.
I think the Bucks are an easy one. The creamsicle pirate guy with
I
like the
don't
sword
know.
through his mouth.
Yeah, I kind of like the new gen ones. Kind of what they're doing now, but also like the like Super Bowl year ones.
Yeah.
They're both fine, but I don't think that was a huge down. I think they're both pretty equal.
I have one. I have the picture. Maybe you know what this is. I had no idea what the fuck this was. And then when I saw it, I was like, damn, this is sick.
Yeah.
While I pull it up, the only other one I had besides this one I'm about to show you is the Oilers, Titans, whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time. I'm a big fan of the old Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
Whole get together. Way better than the Texans.
Yeah.
And even the Titans. Not the I don't know why I said the Texans. Oh, I don't know that one. I meant like the building, like the Warren Moon like Oilers jerseys.
Oh, no, yeah. That's that one. Do you have any idea what team this used to use this for a logo?
Probably not the Cowboys.
Nope.
Right? Is it the Colts?
No. The color is a
Eagles? I
hint.
don't know. Oh, Buccaneers?
Nope.
I have no idea.
49ers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I guess this
Oh,
is in like the
that's
60s.
another one.
That's a fire.
Yeah, that's sick. You definitely can't do that today.
No.
But yeah, that's sick. This is not more logo, but uniform. Hold on, I just gotta fire this off real quick. Hold on, just trying to wrap up an advertising deal here.
While you're doing that, 50 seconds have
Into
gone by in the game.
steve.jobs@apple.com. Okay. But 49ers old uniforms, and they wear them sometimes on Color Rush, were so good. Like the like Steve Young kind of like Garrison Hurst era, where they had like kind of like the bubble like block letter,
Yep.
like numbers and sleeves. Holy shit, those are good. Falcons is way downgrade. We've talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think the most obvious one, Dolphins, definitely. Like the Dan Marino era Dolphins. This is not even close. When they wear those, they wore them a few times last year. Those are so fire.
Yep.
New one is such garbage. I think that's probably it.
The Rams got it close 2 years ago, and then they decided to fuck it up.
Absolutely just burn the house down with the current ones. Absolutely. Yeah, those are terrible. What about Seahawks? Do you like current?
Like
the new ones or the old ones?
The new ones.
You like the old ones better? Like the
I like the Sean Alexander
brighter
days.
blue.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking before that. Like
oh, sorry. Yeah, almost like Hartford
90s.
Whalers colors.
Yes, exactly. Yep, I think those are slightly better. Okay. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know as much about hockey besides the Kraken, which is fire logo. The most obvious one, maybe in all of sports, is the Anaheim Ducks. Like when they used to be the legit Mighty Ducks.
Oh yeah.
With like the duck goalie helmet and the sticks.
Yep.
That might have been the best logo in all of sports.
Yeah.
Like that's a very slept on sports logo. Hold on. Hold the hell on. Dude, this is so sick. Like this, I might buy this. It's only $249. Like this logo, like that Mighty Ducks logo is so sick.
That's sick. Yeah.
Like that's top 10 all time. Now I don't know. I think it's just like a D.
Oh, I was picturing the actual, or am I imagining something that doesn't exist? I thought that there was one where it was a full-size duck with the sticks.
Oh, there's that too. Yep.
Okay.
There's that too. Very, very cartoonish, but very cool. And then baseball. Baseball, there's been some. The one that stands out to me that I know we recently talked about was the Angels. I do like the old Angels. And the new one's fine, the red ones. But those old like teal Angels with the A, like the Jim Edmonds, Tim Salmon era Angels.
Yeah, when it used to be the A with the wings coming out of it.
Yeah, those were sick.
That was a lot better. I know, I'm looking it up now, and like
baseball really hasn't much changed, I don't think. Astros have kind of gone back and forth. I think they've kind of picked up on their old ones. I can't think of another. Oh, Blue Jays have kind of gone back to their old logo, which is way better than some of the middle ones.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Orioles? They've had a few. So they basically have like the cursive O. I think now more than ever, or last recently, they've worn like the old, like cartoony looking like Baltimore Oriole face.
Yeah.
I kind of like the old, like the one that actually looks like a bird, like sitting on a bat, I think.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of a player to name that era after, but I really can't. Yeah, this is when I type in Orioles, this is the one that comes up. That's like the old, like cartoony one. There was another one. I'll do like Orioles logo 2000s. I think this is the one I like. Yeah, this is the one. This is the mama. Like this one. Like that's a pretty cool Orioles logo.
Yep.
Trying to think, like that's really it. Like no other, like obviously the Yankees or the Red Sox haven't changed anything outside of the Red Sox doing like those hats with like the pair of socks. Well, and the Indians, they've changed a lot.
I'm trying to think of who's done the most drastic where they
Sox,
like
Cubs.
Straight up change up their colors.
Tampa kind of has the Rays. They used to have like the actual stingray, which were pretty sick. The Wade Boggs era sting devil rays.
Yeah. Yeah. Fred McGriff season.
Yeah, for sure. Giants? No, Giants have been pretty consistent. Dodgers, obviously. Rockies, not really.
Oh,
Diamondbacks. Big time. Yeah. Big time downgrade. Like those World Series Diamondbacks uniforms were awesome.
Yep.
Like the Kurt Schilling, Tony Womack, Luis Gonzalez era Diamondbacks.
I thought of two. The Brewers have changed at some point drastically. Oh, yeah. And the Mariners a long time ago changed to their current ones, but like the Ken Griffey, like really, really young.
Yeah,
Ken
like
Griffey
the pitchfork.
Era. Yeah.
Like M. Oh, that
was a much better logo.
Oh no, I like the one after that. You don't like the S with like the star in the middle? You like the pitchfork better?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a terrible take, but okay. And then what was the other one say? Oh, the Brewers. Oh yeah. The Brewers one with like the glove.
Yep.
That like made an M is obviously better than just an M with like a wheat strand like underneath it. Yeah. Oh, the Twins. No. The Twins have two logos. They have the M and then the TC logo. The TC logo is obviously better. Hold on. Yeah, so the Twins have this one, like the TC hats.
Yep, Tom Caron.
They have the one which is the yes, correct. The Minnesota Tom Cairns. I wonder if he's taken a beating with all this Caron talk over the last couple of years. And then they have these ones with just the M, which is actually all right because it's like the Kirby Puckett era Twins, or like the Little Big League era Twins. Yeah, have you seen that movie, Little Big League?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and the Marlins. That's the other one. They did a complete revamp.
Oh,
5 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, they just added orange out of nowhere.
That's probably the most drastic. That was a complete overhaul.
Yep.
From the well, they did change cities, I guess. Well, they went from a state to a city. That can't be good.
At that new stadium that no one goes to.
Yeah, I take back what I said about the A's. The Marlins was definitely the cliche, like just literally empty arena, which is fair. Like if you live in Miami and the Marlins stink, I don't know why you would go to a Tuesday night, Brewers at Marlins game.
Dude, remember the dimensions of that field? Center field was like 440.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they stunk. Like no one can fucking score runs there.
And then anytime someone hit a home run, it would just go into a sea of orange bleachers, unoccupied,
off 12 chairs. Probably find its way back into the field. Did you last note? Then we'll sign off here. I heard this the other day. Maybe it was Tyler's show, so maybe you might know what I'm talking about. Maybe it was. They were talking about Shohei Ohtani. Someone was. Did you know? I meant to Google. I'm about YouTube it right now. Apparently, there's this Shohei Ohtani when he was playing in Japan hit a home run that went through the roof.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You've seen it? I haven't seen it.
Light work.
That seems crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It is crazy.
Hitting a baseball through a stadium, through a dome.
Yeah, some people are saying it's still in the air right now. It hasn't landed yet.
I've heard someone say he's a good baseball player.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. He's trending in that direction.
I saw something the other day. It was a Twitter thing. It was like Shohei Ohtani named one of the 100 most influential people of 2020 or 2021. And I was like, no shit. Like 100 is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he's he's potentially like saving baseball and bringing over a whole new, like era of like Asian fans.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, 100. Yes, I think he'd be in my top 100 over a very short span of a year, doing something that hasn't been done since Babe Ruth. He cracks the top 100. I think he was top number 100. Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, top 99. That's a hot take, but 100
for sure.
I'll let you.
He's Mr. 100. I'm pretty sure is what they call him, which could very well be how many home runs he hits this year. Not to talk about, but maybe for a future episode, did you see that Rolling Stone top 500 songs of all time list that came out?
I haven't.
I was kind of thumbing through it. There's one that stands out to me, and I'll get your initial gut reaction. So every song ever in the history of life, right? Mm-hmm. They break it down to top 500. This one seemed high to me. Number 8. So 8, as in there's only 7 songs better than this one of all time. Number 8 was Work It by Missy Elliott.
I mean, maybe
pretty good song. I'm sure it was a very popular song.
Maybe they're just basing it off the fact that if you flip it in reverse, it counts for 2. Whatever that line is, because I don't remember that line.
No, that's not it, but I understand what you're saying. That seems high. Yeah, I think the top 5, I think Smells Like Teen Spirit was up there. Probably some Beatles song was up there. I think Aretha Franklin Respect was number 1, or it was up there.
Really?
I don't often put Missy Elliott in those same breaths.
No, I don't consider that song influential.
It was it was a good song. I don't know. It was a hit. I don't particularly care for it, but it was a hit song.
Yeah, and I feel like if
top 500, I'll give it top 500.
If they wanted to go based off of all right, this was just a banger that everyone loved. Even then,
top 500.
Yeah, top 500, sure.
Comfortably in the 450s.
I bet there's a good amount of our friends who don't particularly care for that Missy Elliott song.
Nah, not really. Anyway, all right, we do gotta get going here. So that's that. Good Pats win. Might have a friend come on with us later this week, and we'll go from there. But I gotta get going. So anything else from you real quick before we sign off?
No, good over here.
All right, perfect. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.